History is a clock that people use to tell their political and cultural time of day. It is also a compass that people use to find themselves on the map of human geography. History tells of people where they have been and what they have been, where they are and what they are. Most important, history tells a people where they still must go, what they still must be. The relationship of history to the people is the same as the relationship of a mother to her child.
This is one of the reasons why I call you kings and queens, because you are indeed royalty, brothers and sisters. You are kings and queens of Mama Africa, or as our dear brother Gary Bird was talking about, Al-Kebulan, one of the many names for the continent of Africa. Okay, kings and queens, right. So I now again want to welcome our guest, our dear Baba Achiaba Adaye Sebo, who is of course the founder of Black History Month UK, and that was founded in 1987. And our Baba has many claims to fame, kings and queens. He's a very, very humble man. He really is. But you know, he's already etched his place in history. That's why so many people want to know about him. So we give thanks to him, brothers and sisters. Yes, so our special guest, he is, not only is he the founder of Black History Month, he's also former operations manager of Notting Hill Carnival. He is a former special envoy of International Alert who facilitated to bring an end to the civil wars in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Massive work for such a humble lion we have amongst us, kings and queens. We are blessed to have you, Baba. Again, welcome again. Akwaba, welcome to Bring the Family Back. And you've already shared some very deep and moving tributes and testimonies, you know, that I know have inspired many. But we want to talk about you, and I know that's a difficult subject for you, but I would like to start with your childhood in Ghana, if that's okay. You're a son of the soil of Mama Ghana. So as a child, tell us what it was like growing up in Mama Ghana, please.
I was lucky to have been born in the early 1950s at a period of great revolutionary upheaval to liberate Africa. As I speak to you, we are marking the 80th anniversary of the 5th Pan-African Congress that took place in 1945 in Manchester.
Yes.
And that was a seminal gathering because people like C.L.R. James, Padmore Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, Wallace Johnson and others, Moodley, they said that they've been holding Pan-African Congresses since Sylvester Williams started.
1900.
And it is the challenge of land. How do we reverse the 1884 Berlin Conference that partitioned Africa among the European powers, with USA and Turkey attending on the table that slices up Africa? And it's all about land. So without land, the whole Pan-African movement and its diaspora struggles meant nothing. They needed a liberated land where it can be the launching pad towards the total liberation of the African continent. That was the purpose of the 1945 gathering. And they took some important decisions there. and they decided that they had to locate an African state that they can liberate as a liberated territory and use that to launch the struggle towards the total liberation and unification of Africa. They decided on Sierra Leone, and ITA Wallace Johnson was being prepared to go to Sierra Leone to kickstart the process. Then, fortuitously, a letter came to Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana asking him to come and be the secretary and organizer of the United Ghana Gold Coast Convention,
the
UGCC. And he showed the letter to Padmo and C.L.R. James. They called a meeting, and which included Wallace Johnson, and they said the plan has to change. It's the Gold Coast, so prepare to go. And Nkrumah was hesitant because he was about to complete his PhD thesis, and they said, no, Kwame, you are going. So they organized in 1947 and put him in a ship together with Kojobo Osio in Liverpool and sent Nkrumah to Ghana with a specific program. And I say that Nkrumah organized to the T following the program. And believe you me, by 1957, about 9 years after being in Ghana, he managed to organize a mass movement to make the grounds of the Gold Coast impossible for the British to stay. The British had to negotiate a way out. And that happened during the midnight of March 6, 1957. And it was on that day that Nkrumah, standing on the podium at the old polo ground, facing the Atlantic, he said,
bring it.
The spirit of Toussaint, Deselanis, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, they are here with us today.
Libation.
They are here with us today. What they could not achieve have been achieved today. The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent.
Yes, sir.
And as I speak to you now, the independence of Ghana remains meaningless because we haven't fulfilled the objective of linking it up with the total liberation of the African continent. Because Nkrumah was overthrown on 6 March 1966 as a result of a combination of forces, including the British Prime Minister at that time, Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson, and Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president of the USA, United States of Apartheid, as I call it, United States of Apartheid. And they plotted to get rid of Nkrumah. Why? Because Ghana became the beacon of liberation. Ghana set up liberation camps where freedom fighters will come and rest and pick themselves up and go back and fight. Ghana used the state resources and the wealth of Ghana to support the liberation movement across Africa. And when Ghana gained independence, there were 8 independent African states. And in 1963, May 20th through 25th, 32 African states gathered at Addis Ababa to to form the Organization of African Unity. Nothing like that has happened anywhere on this earth. The speed with which the liberation process took was something that shocked the Western world.
And Nkrumah was in a hurry. He was in a hurry.
Yes, he was in a hurry. And I remember her wife telling me that her husband said that, yes, he was in a hurry because he knew that they would catch up with him. But at the time they caught up with him, he would have left foundations that would take Ghana and Africa forward for the next 50, 100 years. That is exactly what he did.
Yes, kings and queens, E.T. Mensah, Ghana Freedom.
Yes, it was a period where you felt a movement. The country was moving, was developing. You felt it, part of it. Schools were springing up, industries were springing up, agricultural plantations were springing up. There was no unemployment. When you finished school, you had a job for you. That was what was happening. And in the 1990s, I used to go to China a lot. And I saw what was happening in China. They were also growing and developing at that time. And the flashback to Ghana came back to me.
Where Ghana could have been.
Yes,
should
where
have
Ghana
been.
should have been. You see, and it hurts. It hurts because there you felt the country was moving. The country was moving. And there was opportunity for all of us. For example, me, I grew up in a very poor neighborhood conditions in Aboabo, a suburb in Kumasi, the capital of Ashanti region. And I went to school in tattered clothes, barefoot. But Nkrumah created the conditions that enabled me to go to one of the best secondary schools in the country. When I was going to school, a boarding school, I went barefooted. The headmaster took me to town to go and buy me some shoes. You see, and that secondary school embraced people from all walks of life, the very rich to the very poor. And that was what Nkrumah and his generation, that's what they did. And they created the opportunities for us. And they sent us out with scholarships to the best universities in the world to go and see how other countries have ordered their societies for us to come back and do better.
Yes.
Then we came back, my generation, that benefited most from the Nkrumah generation. We seized power in 1982. And from 1982 to the current day, as I am speaking to you, it is my generation who benefited most from the Nkrumah regime that seized power and have held power till Tuesday. It's all about land, and it's all about the strength of vision of the diaspora. That is what you should never forget. You in the diaspora, find meaning and depth to those in the diaspora, C.L.R. James, Sylvester Williams, George Padmon, all of them. Think about them and what Africa meant to them. And you are many now. They were few. And look at what they were able to achieve.
Yes. Amy Ashwood Garvey.
Yes. Look at what they were able to achieve. And now we are in thousands and millions. This is the army for the total liberation of Africa. You are, you in the diaspora, You are the army. You are the future of Africa. You know the trauma of enslavement. You know the trauma of colonization. We take it for granted. What you brought memories with E.T. Mensah, and it presents challenge to Africa. And the challenge is to go back and undo the 1884-85 Berlin Conference that has kept Africa divided with borders, imaginary borders that we cannot break down. This is what Nkrumah and others try to do. Ghana's independence was on 6 March 1957. Nkrumah and others, they chose 6 March for a reason, because of the bond of 1844 that colonized the Gold Coast by the British.
Right.
So they chose 6 March 1957 to undo the spiritual bonding of the bond of 1884, which was signed on 6 March 1844.
Right.
That is the thinking of Nkrumah. You see.
Thank you for
And
that.
secondly, Ghana is the only country that has the bodies of the 3 pyramids of the Pan-African struggle: Du Bois, Nkrumah, and George Padmore. George Padmore was the first to die in 1959, and Nkrumah brought the ashes back to Ghana and raised a plinth at the Osu Castle, getting the entrance, the walkway up to his living quarters, raised a marble plinth and put the marble there, the ashes there, the urn in there, with beautiful inscriptions there, paying tribute to George Padmore. And when Du Bois died, do you know what Nkrumah did? He brought Du Bois' body and interred it at the same castle, in between 2 cannons, facing the Atlantic. Put the body there. The significance of it. The significance of this must not be lost on us.
Tatenda, thank you very much for sharing that. Brothers and sisters, this is, of course, Bring the Family Back. We're going to move now to our final segment, and I want to say, Tatenda, thank you very much. Assata Shakur was born in New York on July the 16th, 1947. She became a student activist in her teens and later joined the Black Panther Party at the age of 23 in Harlem, fast becoming one of its leading members. While with the Panthers, she was instrumental in the organizing and implementation of the school and breakfast program aimed to educate and feed black children. On facing ideological differences with the party, Mama Assata moved on to join the BLA, the Black Liberation Army, and was also a member of the Republic of New Africa. She became known to the American authorities as the mother hen of the Black Liberation Movement, and as such became a prime target of the FBI COINTELPRO, or the Counterintelligence Program, initiated under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover against what it regarded as, quote, black extremists or, quote, black nationalist hate groups that were, quote, the greatest threat to the internal security of the country. On May the 2nd, 1973, she confronted the brutality of the USA government head-on when she was involved in a shootout with state troopers on the New Jersey Turnpike. It claimed the life of BLA member Zaid Malik, who was also the father of her child. A state trooper was also killed. Even though Assata was wounded in the interaction, meaning she couldn't have fired a gun, nevertheless, she was convicted on one murder charge and 6 assault charges and sentenced to life in prison, where she suffered unspeakable abuse, yet managed to give birth to her daughter Kakuya in September 1974. Fellow BLA member Sundiata Akoli survived the ordeal and was also sentenced to life imprisonment. He was released in May 1922, one of a flurry of releases of long-term political prisoners from organizations like the Black Liberation Army, the Black Panther Party, and the MOVE organization. Okay, and although many of them are released, our dear brother Mumia Abu Jamal, arguably the best known and the most well-known political prisoner, remains incarcerated. So this is now, this is Mama Assata talking about the plight of the numerous political prisoners still imprisoned.
Important for anybody who believes in injustice, who believes that human beings have the right to be free, to struggle to free Mumia Abu Jamal, to struggle to free all political prisoners and prisoners of war, and to struggle for a new political, economic reality in the United States where people have the right to live, have the right to be free, have the right to be free from repression, from being stopped and searched and thrown on the ground at will. I believe that it is important to free political prisoners so that we can all struggle to free ourselves. The United States government or the prison cannot rehabilitate anybody, cannot educate anybody. They are criminals. How is a criminal going to rehabilitate somebody? So I think that we have got to educate ourselves and prepare ourselves to fight a repressive system, an oppressive system, and a system that smashes the human being to the point where people don't even remember how to take a walk, how to say good morning, how to smile at each other. We have to take this planet back from the beasts that are controlling it right now.
Tunamoi Kings and Queens, welcome back to Bring the Family Back. And that was what I wanted to play you a little while ago. But persistence is the key, Kings and Queens, so we got there. And we got to hear how powerful this woman is, Mama Assata Shakur. And, you know, we want to give honor and praise to the Black Liberation Army who freed her from prison. That was an amazing piece of technical work there that managed to free her from prison, and then she was later exiled in Cuba in 1984. She was freed in 79 and was exiled to Cuba under Castro in 1984. Okay, so brothers and sisters, right, so we're gonna move on now to our, I'm just gonna check with Baba if you wanted to, okay, good. All right, just wanted to check if you wanted to make any comments.
We don't expect who else should do it but ourselves. What are the churches doing? What are the churches doing? Please tell me what are the churches doing during Black History Month. Now you talk about the family. That is crucial. The trauma that Elizabeth and Marcus face at home. The mother as a single parent, which is very common to us.
Too common.
Too common. What are we doing about it? And now we hear about knife crimes, gun crimes, and all these. The child who picks up a knife and go and cause mayhem to another student, where does the child come from? Where did he or she leave to go to school or to a community area to cause such mayhem? the child left from a home.
Yeah.
So the problem is not where the incident occurred, the knifing or the gunshot occurred, but it's home, is the family. And that is what Black History Month is about. We have to deal with that. So we have a month of stock taking, a month of stock taking to ensure that the gun crime and the knife crime, we stop it. We have to stop it. It's issue of parenting. Grandchildren have become mothers. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. Our family is in crisis.
Yeah.
Our family is in crisis. The core value of the African is the family. And when you tear the family apart, you destroy the whole nation. And that's what happened to us in the plantations, in the Caribbean, and the Americas. Have we so soon forgotten? Have we so soon forgotten what happened to us? Right from the ship, they separated us. Right from the ship, they separated us. And now,
Oh, my dear Baba Achiabadai Sebo, thank you very, very much for this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know it was painful in parts. I know it was. But we got through, and the message is out there for our people, for our community. So I want to say them. I want to give you the more thanks. Can I say Medase P again? Because this is a. Is it Medase P? Mendase. Oh, that's the response, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, right. I'm gonna have to learn that. Okay, it really was a pleasure having you, and yeah, it was absolutely wonderful, brothers and sisters. We're coming to the close of our show. We hope you were enlightened and uplifted by our Baba. I know I